Hi, and welcome to the Divinely Inspired Woman podcast. I am your host, Patricia Wald Hopkins. I am a modern mystic, and I am here to share with you the beautiful wisdom and stories from women that desire to lead their lives inspired by the divine within them. The divinely inspired woman is devoted to walking the path of her soul's calling, tuning into the divinity within to navigate life with ease and grace through all circumstances. She cultivates beauty in her daily life. She is here to share the most authentic self each day through thick and thin. So I hope you'll enjoy our show today and that you will leave with an infusion of inspiration for your soul and for your day and living your life. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Divinely Inspired Woman. My name is Patricia Wald Hopkins, and I am your host. And I have a very special, beautiful guest with me here this evening. Anne, tell me what I see. Your last name is Monteverde. Is that what you go by, or do you go by Matoke? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, well, you can say it as Matoke, Monteverde, because Monteverde is my maiden name after marriage.
Okay.
But Matoke was like from Africa. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure that I was capturing all of that essence of your name. So beautiful.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes. Okay. There you go. Okay. So yes. Let me just tell you a little blurb here about Anne. She's a purpose-driven woman. And she teaches women, how to create an online income through social media. You do this in 3 ways, helping them build a personal brand to leverage social media, guiding them to partner with automated online platforms and affiliates with high profit companies in the health and wellness industry. And I know you do so much. And that's just a little brief intro.
Right.
So tell me, what does the divine mean to you, and divine inspiration? How does that land with you? What does that feel like in your life?
First of all, I just love the name divine. So divine inspiration is when you serve from within, from the inside out. Mm-hmm. When you connect to your soul guides, when you connect to the power that is higher than you, and you serve from there, from a heart-centered space. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And have you always had a strong connection, or have you cultivated it over the years? What has been your experience?
I would say I've cultivated it over the last 2 years, because when I grew up in a very strict Christian family. So spiritualism was not in the picture. But since the last 2 years, I realized there's something more. It's not just following religious beliefs. It's about, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Mm-hmm. So I realized there's something more. So I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to heal some wounds. And the only way I could heal those wounds that I had is through going inner, like doing some inner work. And since I started it, I've never been the same again. Like life has just been magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So your experience, your connection has strengthened over the last couple of years. And how has that changed your life? I know you talked a little bit up there about it, but what are some of the biggest shifts that you have found now that you have that stronger connection?
What has changed is when I wake up every morning, and it's like a non-negotiable. I have to connect to the source energy. I have to connect to the higher power, like connect up and, like connect up and below, and like truly anchor to it. and just start my day from that point before I go into journaling.
Mm-hmm.
So this has changed my life in a way, especially when it comes to gratitude. Before I do my gratitude practice, I have to go within.
Mm-hmm.
I have to trust, I have to surrender that whatever I'm going to do today is for the highest good. And whatever I'm going to say and whatever I'm going to post is going to be a blessing to someone's life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a definite shift in the way that you start your day. I mean, is that something that just comes naturally to you to do that, or did you have to kind of cultivate that practice as well? And I'm asking because some of our audiences maybe just starting on the path, this path.
I totally understand. It's something that I cultivated, and especially when I came across this online community 2 years ago. I think it's now 2.5 years. Okay. Where they believe that success boils down to 80% inner work and 20% strategy. Okay. And where they bring like inner circle masterclasses of a lot of spiritual souls. And that is when I got introduced, like I actually heard about light language, like it was just so magical. Mm-hmm. And then one time, Abigail invited me to one of the summits she was holding, where she had you and other like beautiful powerhouse souls doing light language. Well, I was a listener. I wasn't like a presenter. And this just blew my mind. So in the last 2 years, I've been like just being exposed to different spiritual dynamics and spiritual ways and ways of how others, like I learn from others. I always say others are my teachers. Like you're my teacher. Abigail is my teacher. Whoever spiritual person I come across, I look at it as my teacher.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm honoring the teacher that you are to me.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you just have a beaming quality of a goddess here. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And where does that radiance come from? I mean, do you think that's just part of your, the process, of just really tuning in to your divine self?
I would say it's because I've tuned into my higher self, my true self, and I love inner work. It's like something magic. I've invested in a lot of inner work. I've done like DNA activations. I don't know if you've heard of someone called what's her name? Juan Pablo Barahona.
Okay.
And the wife, Reagan Hillier. So last year I did an intuitive goddess activation where she had like 13 chords, and this just opened myself to the magic that I truly am. This was just like a catalyst to what I started doing.
Yeah. So I'm curious because of my experience of going through, different processes like that. And did you like have a shift in your like physiology, your body? Did you feel it, or was it more of a mental or like ethereal kind of embodiment for you?
It was a mental and emotional and physical.
Okay, all of them.
Because there were chords like I could activate my voice of truth, activate the radiance of who I really am, and activate who I truly am. Like that particular chord reminded me, at times we forget who we truly are. We forget the magic that we are. We are born with it, but it's kind of like closed on a lid.
Yeah.
Because we've forgotten, but we just need to remind ourselves. And it reminded me of how intuitive I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How intuitive. Yes.
Yeah.
That women's wisdom. I mean, men also have intuition, but just that deep well of wisdom of the woman. Definitely feel that emanating from you. Yeah. Is there a particular, I know you spoke about the intuitive goddess activation. So is that something that you still, do you work with the goddesses or do you work with any particular energies when you tune in for your
it's a recorded training. It's a recorded training. So I can tune into it like anytime that I feel called to, because they're 13 chords. So I can choose a certain subject and tune into it, but I don't do it every day. What I do every day is like connecting from above and below and journaling, like being grateful, journaling 10 things that I'm grateful for every single day with no, like, without any excuse. Like, even when I wake up later, I tell my kids, can you just give me 10 minutes just to be alone? I gotta journal 10 things that I'm grateful for before I start my day.
That's beautiful. So gratitude is like brings in the blessings and the grace right down into your being. And I know that you have a busy life, but you have little ones. And you need that space. I mean, so for mothers, you know, I'm a mother too of three. Mine are a little older than yours, but it is that I remember when my youngest, when he was first born, like that's when I started my meditation practice. Like that's when I knew that I had to. I would just hold him in my arms.
Wow.
And you know, and would get like 5 minutes in, and I would be like, but you know, so I understand the importance of that. And do you have any, you know, pearls of wisdom for mothers with young children, and as you know, really dedicating that time for yourself?
Right.
Yeah. And the pearl of wisdom that comes through you, it feels like is always being grateful. Is that resonate true? Is there anything else? Any other pearls? I know you have many.
But I was also raised with a mom who was she was religious, but she embodied the value of gratitude. She always told us to be grateful for every single thing, big or small. So gratitude was something that I started when I was little, even though I was not journaling things I was grateful for. But since 2.5 years, I've fully embodied it, and it's become my top number one value.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
So tell me some fun things about this process, this journey that you've been on the last couple of years. What have you seen happen for you? I mean, what are the big celebrations that you have right now?
Wow, what I've seen happening for me is when I anchor into who I truly am and having the courage to share my voice. Because before I was stuck in fear, like if you tell me to go on a video, I'd be like, are you crazy? But I fully embodied who I truly am, my accent and how it comes out, and not be scared of how it sounds, of how it's perceived by the other person. But just like fully anchor. And I guess there's one quote that I always like love so much by Maya Angelou. It says, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. So when I'm presenting something, or when I'm going to like deliver something, I tell myself I'm not alone. I'm with my ancestors. I'm with my spiritual guides. I'm with my mom's spirit, which I know is always guiding me because she passed away like a few years ago. So I always know that I'm never alone.
I love that. I love it's also it's never a coincidence, but you and I were meeting on in the pulse, you know, the gene keys. I work with the gene keys a lot, but we're in the pulse of ancestral veneration.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So preserving the wisdom, bringing it forward from, you know, from your ancestry, and continuing to share that for years and generations to come. So I am honored to sit here with you in honoring your ancestors, because every time you do speak, I do feel that power of your
thank you
behind you.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That is something that I think I have learned to be grateful for. You know, I think there was a time, and maybe I don't know that you ever experienced this, but there were times in my life where I almost felt like I had to escape where I came from.
Wow.
And it took a while before I realized all the gifts that came from, you know, my origins.
Wow.
Do you have any stories to share about how you celebrate, the gratitude for your ancestors, or in your daily gratitude sessions, or any sort of?
The only thing, well, I've not gone deep into back into my ancestors and looking back into my past lives, even though that is something that I'm so eager to know.
Okay.
It's always been magnetized me to know, why did I choose to get into a body in Africa and to get into a body at that particular place at that particular time. But what I always connect to is to be grateful for what my parents did, be grateful for my grandparents, for what they did to my parents, because without my grandparents, my parents would not have been created. So that's the only thing I do when it comes to my ancestors, a journal and be grateful that they decided to bring to fruition the two bodies that came together and merged and created this body that I chose to have the human experience with. Yeah.
That's magical. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to let that sit for a second.
Yeah.
The magic of gratitude and ancestral reverence. And that creates a trajectory, right, for the future and a vision. And what is your vision? What is your vision for your future? Where do you see all of this going for you?
Well, my vision for the future, and this is something that I just started mentioning about a month ago. When I'm introducing myself before presenting anything, I say the first thing I say, even before describing what I do to help other women, I say I'm a messenger of inspiration. Because I believe I'm being used as a vessel and a channel to empower others to rise and unleash the truest, highest, grandest expression of themselves. So my vision is to speak and empower so many women through different platforms, not just social media, but through different platforms. And at times I envision myself in front of on TV, or in front of a huge crowd, in person, not online, just encouraging them and motivating them to truly rise, to inspire them that if I came from the trials I had in Africa and become who I am today, they can too.
Yeah. So it's inspiring them to step into their power, or reclaim their power, amplify their power.
Yes.
That feels very much almost, I can feel the strength of a heroine in you, and that the beauty of holding the integrity of yourself, and helping other people to learn to hold that as well. Is there I know you talked about expressing your why you came here in an authentic way, and I'm not sure you said it in those words, but that's the way I received it. Did you, and you said there was it was, you had to learn to be kind of comfortable being on camera, and I've gone through that myself. Is there what was your way of just doing it? Did you just jump in? For someone who knows that they have a message, they know they're a messenger too. They just can't quite get the courage. What would you tell them?
Well, I would say it's very scary at the beginning, but it's about taking that leap of faith, even before you're fully ready, even when you're trembling, even when your voice is trembling. It's about taking that leap of faith. And what really motivated me and encouraged me to fully rise and step in is I decided to go outside my comfort zone and invest into learning, into a speaking. It was a speaking class by one of the mentors in the academy that I'm part of. And it was our 6-week container, which he extended to 12 weeks, where every single week he would train us to say something or give us a topic. And we had to present it into a private Facebook group in front of all the 50 people who signed up for that class. And then he had to give us feedback based on how we were presenting. Like, are we looking into the camera? Are we like using hand gestures? Are we expressing ourselves? Or are we just like dull and not like fully expressing? And he's someone who's very spiritual, and he really pushed us outside our comfort zone. Like, we really had to like present that video by a certain time. If not, you get disqualified. And this like really encouraged me to go on and share my voice even when I'm trembling. Yeah.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
And it was the one thing about that is it was a safe place.
Yeah, it was a safe place. Yeah.
Right. I know there have been like times where, it's like people say, well, just jump, just do it. And it's like, well, let's practice in a safe place.
Right. Absolutely.
A safe place first. I mean, it's taken me many years to even talk about things that I talk about in front of public, light language and
right. I believe you.
Seeds and all those kinds of things. And how has that been for you, your transition, your expansion, your spiritual expansion, and kind of integrating that back into your community, or your family? How has that been for you?
How it's been for me is I try to, whatever I'm implementing, it's like a ripple effect. It's like a waterfall. It flows to my kids, whether they feel it or whether they are aware of it or not. But at times I do it at a steep gradient by like telling them certain things, like the power of thinking positive, the power of connecting to angels, the power of manifestation, and what you think thoughts become a reality. So I'm slowly like training them, but not like bombarding them in a way that they get overwhelmed, but like starting to teach them the little tiny steps that will make it easier for them when they're adults. Yeah.
I like that. Baby steps, little baby.
Yeah, baby steps. Yes.
I've been called the queen of baby steps because I.
Oh wow!
Just keep going,
right.
and eventually it turns.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, with children, that seems really important. I have a similar experience with mine, although I think I probably started when they were a little bit older. But they surprise you, don't they? Children.
Oh, they do. Oh yeah, absolutely, they do.
Yeah,
like my girls love unicorns.
Oh,
yeah, they're like crazy about unicorns.
Yeah, magical. And that's the part that you want to stay with you as you go forward, is that magical, see the world through, children, the eyes of a child, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so I know because I've experienced some of the work that you do.
Yeah.
What is your favorite, I don't know if that's a fair question. What right now? Right now, what are you enjoying most about your work? What and the divine, that's divinely inspired?
What I'm enjoying about my work, and I think this stemmed more when I was in Florida for 2 weeks and connected to the beach and the magic of the water, and it reminded me to be in flow, to serve from a place of flow. Like I could plan myself, okay, this is what I'm going to post on Monday. And then on Monday morning, as I'm meditating and connecting to above and below, I get like an intuition that this is what you need to post instead. So I go with the flow. I don't go just with strategy. I go with what is coming from within, what is here for my highest good to share today at this particular moment. Yeah, so that is what I'm embodying and enjoying more in these days.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's from what you said, I feel like you have a strong relationship with water. Like water is
my goodness,
part of your essence.
When it comes to water, it's like magic for me. That's why my podcast is called Waterfalls Podcast.
Oh, yes.
And I just love the waterfalls effect because water is elusive. And, when it flows, like we have waterfalls back in Africa. And I love to just stand by there and just gaze at the waterfalls as it's flowing and the sound as it falls down. This was just so magical. And then the other thing that magnetizes me to water is, as I was growing up, I had an incident when I was 21 when I accidentally hurt myself with hot water, like burnt my feet with hot water, because we had to boil water to drink. And that is the moment I drew the line on the sand and I said, I'll always look for the highest quality water. I will not want to boil water to drink or always like drink from plastic bottles. I'll always look for the best, highest quality water to drink. So when it comes to the water element, it's something deep. I'm so connected to it.
Yeah. And I mean, when I look at you, you're radiant, so I know that you must be drinking that high quality water.
Yeah, not just that. I use the Anespa for the shower, which is like being in a mini spa.
Okay.
And it's apparently like, it's super good for the skin. I feel it on my skin. Like it's kind of like soaking yourself into a hot spring. When you bath yourself with the Anespa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the there's three parts to that system, aren't there? There's three, the trifecta.
There's the Anespa for the shower, and then there's the one for drinking for the kitchen, and then there's the Ukun capsules, which you take just as a supplement. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I have the water filter, but I don't have the shower or the
No, you're starting at a good place. You've started at a good place here.
Yeah. So you are the goddess of water. That's
oh yeah. Yeah, I should add another title, right?
The water goddess.
Right, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell me, what are you receiving that you showed up here today voluntarily and very kindly. What do you feel? What do you feel like you want to share with the audience? Why do you think you came here today? I'll let you tune in.
Yeah, what I want to share is trust and surrender. Everything is working for you. And to believe that whoever is listening, believe that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And trust that you have as much clarity as you need. And trust and embody the steps as they flow through you. Just trust and believe that you're always taking the right next step. Don't question yourself. Don't invalidate yourself. Don't think that, oh my God, am I doing wrong? When you're taking the next step, trust that it's the right step for you.
Beautiful. Yep. Take that in.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. Be grateful.
Yes.
And love where you came from. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And so we're coming to the end of our little chat today. And I want people to know how they can connect with you.
The best place to connect with me is through my Linktree, which is on my socials. And I'm more active on Facebook and Matoke. That's the best way to reach me. My inbox is always open and I'm open to chat. I'm open to connect. I'm open to share who I am. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And I will have all that information in the
thank you.
for them to connect with you. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I know that you have a full life and I really am grateful whenever we get to sit and chat together.
Yeah.
And so thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of The Divinely Inspired Woman. I hope you will take these beautiful inspirations that Anne has shared with us and weave them into your day.
Yeah. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you
for creating this magical sacred space.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Divinely Inspired Woman. Again, I am your host, Patricia Wald Hopkins, and I am so glad that you joined us here today. I hope you left with some soul food to inspire your daily life. And if you would like to learn more about my work, please check out my website, patriciawaldhopkins.com, and you can find out more about my divinely inspired practice and tools. So, thank you again. Have a beautiful day. Hi. I'm dropping in here with an announcement about a program, a new mentorship that I am offering. It's called Voices of Gaia, and it's about bringing your voice, your leadership, your life in alignment with Gaia's guidance. So if you feel called to learn more about this program, it's a beautiful, rich program where we dive into your essence, and if you so desire, we develop your business around it and really blossom into your whole lifestyle, this wisdom from Gaia that wants to be spoken through you. So if you feel called, reach out to me at patricia@patriciawaldhopkins.com. That's patricia@patriciawaldhopkins.com. There's no hyphen between Wald and Hopkins. And I would just love to hear from you and see if this is a good fit. So thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful day.